Ever wondered how the tiny chips inside your smartphone, laptop, or even your car come to be? These tiny pieces of silicon are the heart and brain of nearly every modern device. But the process of making them is far more complex than you might think. Today we're going behind the scenes to uncover the fascinating world of microchip manufacturing, where precision engineering meets cutting-edge technology. By the end of this video, you'll have a whole new appreciation for the tiny microchips that power your everyday life. It all starts at massive manufacturing plants called fabs, short for fabrication facilities. One of the largest and most advanced of these is located in Taiwan, operated by SMAC, one of the world's leading chip manufacturers. This fab is as high-tech as it gets, with clean rooms so sterile that the air inside is 1,000 times cleaner than a hospital operating room. The reason for such extreme cleanliness? A single speck of dust can ruin an entire batch of microchips, which are produced on a microscopic scale. Before the manufacturing process begins, the design phase takes place, often involving companies like Intel, AMD, or Nvidia. Engineers spend months, if not years, meticulously designing the chip, using powerful computer simulations to ensure it performs optimally. This phase is crucial because even a minor error in design could lead to costly failures during production. Once the design is finalized, it's time to move on to the production process. The core material used to make microchips is silicon, derived from sand. That's right, microchips start with one of the most abundant materials on Earth, but the process of turning sand into a high-performance chip involves many complex steps. The first step is to take raw silicon and purify it into large crystals known as silicon ingots. These ingots are cylindrical and can weigh hundreds of pounds. Once purified, the ingots are sliced into thin wafers, each no thicker than a sheet of paper. These wafers will form the base for thousands of individual chips. With the wafers prepared, the real magic begins. The manufacturing process involves layering, etching, and doping the silicon wafer to create microscopic circuits that will ultimately allow the chip to process data. This is done using a technique called photolithography, one of the most important and intricate steps in chip production. In photolithography, a wafer is coated with a light-sensitive material called a photoresist. A pattern of the chip's circuits is then projected onto the wafer using ultraviolet light. This pattern is transferred onto the wafer layer by layer, each one as small as a few nanometers. To give you some perspective, a nanometer is about 100,000 times thinner than a human hair. After each layer is imprinted, the photoresist is washed away, and the exposed areas are chemically treated to build the chip's components. This process is repeated dozens of times, adding layers upon layers of microscopic circuits. Each layer must align perfectly with the others. Any misalignment could lead to a faulty chip. The next step is doping, which involves adding impurities to the silicon to change its electrical properties. This helps create the transistors, the tiny switches that make up the building blocks of a microchip. Each modern chip contains billions of transistors, and the latest chips are capable of performing trillions of calculations per second. Once the transistors are in place, the wafers go through a process called ion implantation, where high-energy particles are shot into the wafer to adjust its electrical characteristics. Afterward, the wafer undergoes a process called chemical vapor pore deposition, which adds thin layers of insulating materials to protect the circuits. After all these steps, the wafer is ready for testing. Manufacturers use sophisticated equipment to inspect each chip, ensuring it functions correctly. If a chip doesn't pass the test, it's discarded. This quality control process is critical, as even the smallest defect can cause a chip to malfunction, potentially affecting thousands of devices. Once the testing is complete, the wafer is sliced into individual chips, each one only a few millimeters in size. These chips are then packaged and connected to the metal pins or pads that will allow them to be integrated into a larger circuit, like the motherboard of your computer or the processor in your smartphone. But the process isn't quite over yet. Before the chips can be shipped to companies like Apple or Samsung, they must undergo one final round of testing to ensure that they meet the highest performance standards. After all, the chips will be powering some of the most important devices in the world, from medical equipment to space satellites. And that's how microchips are made. From the initial design to the final testing, each step in the process requires extreme precision and coordination between human engineers and advanced machines. The result? A piece of technology so small it fits in the palm of your hand, yet powerful enough to process billions of tasks in a single second. Microchips may be tiny, but the world we live in today wouldn't exist without them. So next time you pick up your smartphone, log onto your computer, or drive your car, remember that these everyday tasks are made possible by the extraordinary world of chip manufacturing. If you found this behind-the-scenes look at chip manufacturing fascinating, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications for more videos like this. Leave a comment down below if you want to see how other everyday technologies are made. Thanks for watching.